Hi, welcome. My name is Shou. Today, I'm going to show you some affordable Chinese brush painting tools which you can find anywhere. This one is a jar which I find in secondhand. It has cover on it and I think it's very good to store ink. This one is very good for store colors too if you can't finish the day and you want to prevent it to dry the next day. This plate I also found in secondhand. I like to mix color in it and it's white, it's easy to clean. I use it as paperweight that can stop my paper moving. You know, rice paper is super thin and when you paint on it and the pressure you give to the paper maybe move it. So it's good to have some sort of weight on top of it to prevent it moving around. This branch I find in my yard, I use it as a brush rest. It helped me keep my table clean when the brushes are wet. Now is watercolor. I bought this one in Walmart. It cost me $5.97. I tried it in dollar store, but they don't have any watercolor. Maybe because this pandemic, there's a lot of shortage of the stock, you know. You want it cheap, but you don't want to go too cheap, right? It should be useful. So I think it's reasonable. Those years of painting, one of the most frequent questions I got from students is, what's the difference with Western watercolor and the Chinese watercolor? That's a good question, and I did study about it. I have to give you another lesson about it, but for now, I could show you some differences when I use it later. You will see. This brush inside the palette it's good size. The hair is very soft actually, and it holds well inside the box, and I might use it. The color powder is really hard. Actually, this is the first time for me to use this kind of palette watercolor. It includes a small brush. Okay, I find it. I do find some other brushes. I'm going to show you later. This brush inside the palette it's good size. The hair is very soft actually, and it holds well inside the box, and I might use it. This brush set I find in Dollarama. It's $4 and have 10 pieces included. I don't think I will use all of them. You know, it comes with a set, but maybe for later. The hair is really hard, and I don't think it's going to hold a lot of water. That's unfortunately, we do require a lot of water inside the brush when we do the painting. I don't know whether this brush will work out, but let's see how it goes. You can see there's one or two hairs sticking out way far from the tip. I have to flat it out, otherwise it's going to leave a mess on my painting. So I'm just use a scissor, cut it out. it just seems like trimming the flower, right? Okay, this is all the brushes. I'm going to put it away. Next is the paper. This is the paper towel. This one is very cheap kind, hard, thin, and not very absorbing. I kind of like this color. I kind of like this color because it's very ancient look, you know, and it's hard and it's absorbing. I think this one is the most similar to the rice paper actually. This one is just toilet paper, super soft, thin, absorbing. The problem is this is too soft and too thin, and the brush I'm going to using is super hard. So I'm kind of afraid of it when I do the painting, it's going to break the paper. This is a paper towel, thicker, absorbing too. I'm going to cut all of them to the same size so you can see the difference. Easy to see the difference later on. Now I'm going to lay those three types of paper together, and you can see the difference of them more clear. I'm also going to use one rice paper as a reference. Now then you can compare them, like what's the difference. This is my paperweight, a big stick. It's heavy and it's have a smooth surface. I'm going to lay my color on my right hand because it's easy to use on my right hand, but if you're left-handed, probably you want to put on your left. And I just find out this cover is good enough for color mixing today. Because the painting I'm going to do is quite small. That means it's not require a lot of color, so I'm not going to use that place which is I showed you earlier. I'm going to just use the cover of this palette plate to do my painting because small painting, less color required. Then I'm not going to use that. I'm going to also because the size, so I'm going to choose couple small brushes. Like this one, it's very thin and I can do some fine line on it. Also, I'm thinking probably I'm going to paint a bamboo to try it out because it's not require a lot of color, and the ink is a big color through the beginning course, which is I'm going to do a beginning workshop step by step, probably in the end of this month or the beginning of next month. I'm going to do a series of how to do the Chinese brush painting for beginner. It's going to be have 12 videos, and ink is for sure needed. So I'm going to try this black color in this water palette, see whether if it can use instead of ink. So then it will be a big deal in this course because then that means you don't have to buy the ink, which is in our store. You have to buy a big bottle of ink, which is, if you're not doing often, it's probably going to take you at least 2 years to finish up, and you don't want to waste like $20 for a bottle of ink, which is not, you are not going to finish it, right? So let's try the black color first. Okay, first step, I'm going to wet this brush. Use some bring a small jar full of tap water. Tap water is enough, is good enough, and wet your brushes. What I'm doing is I try to get some ink inside of the color mix place. So I'm just scrap some color and mix some water, scrap some color, mix some water. I'm just trying to get some ink. I'm not going to show you the detail of how to do this bamboo painting because later on when you see my beginning series, I will show you step by step how to exactly do the painting. But right now the purpose of this video is show you the material and what's the difference, right? So for the bamboo stock, I'm going to use a lighter tone, which means more water. It's kind of gray. It's not really black because the black I'm going to use for the knob. For the beginning class, it will be I'm not going to say it's going to be perfect, but it's something you can start working on it. And I have to say there will be some subject you couldn't get what you want to get by using these tools, because later on when you see my beginning class, some subject it require like you need to mix two kinds of color just in one stroke, which is I'm pretty sure this brush won't hold like two colors in one stroke, especially doing some flower painting. That will be a little bit of a problem. But this is just something you can start with if you can't find the proper tools. I still encourage you to buy the right tools to use. But if you can't, then you can't. And I have to say this is, I think you can use this instead of brushes, Chinese painting brushes, professional one, if you can't find it. And I kind of feel like try out other colors. Now I think I'm going to paint a stamp which is red color. I'm going to try that out. You know what? It works well. So I'm finished this bamboo painting on my rice paper. I'm going to try on a paper towel. Until now, I'm pretty satisfied with all this material I gathered. If you can find the purpose tools, that will be perfect, because it's much easier, and it's much easier to use, and you can get a better effect. The reason I'm doing this video is because if you couldn't find all those tools, just try this instead, right? It's just like I thought it is. On the toilet paper, the paper is really soft, and it's kind of fragile, so I have to very carefully on the toilet paper, because it's I'm afraid to break it. The top one, paper towel, it's good quality, but it's not really smooth on the surface. So you can see later on, you can see there's some holes. I couldn't put the color inside, so it leaves my painting pattern, like different white holes. Otherwise, it's pretty good. But I think compare three of them, the My preference is the bottom one. It's hard, it's a little bit absorbing, it's strong enough to handle the pressure, and it have a unique ancient look. Most importantly, I think it have a smooth surface, and it doesn't really leave any pattern on it. It's pretty good if you can't find rice paper. It's for me, I would choose the bottom paper towel first. If I can't find it, I'm going to use the kitchen paper towel, which is on the top one. The least preference I would choose is the toilet paper, just because it's very fragile. I have to really carefully when I'm working on it. This one is on the paper towel. This one is on toilet paper. And this one is on the paper towel. This one is on my rice paper. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.